Hi, Tom.
Hi, Laura.
So, have you read Somewhere Beyond the Sea?
I have not read Somewhere Beyond the Sea.
Well, lucky you, I have.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are you going to tell me about it?
Yeah, so Somewhere Beyond the Sea is the sequel to The House in the Cerulean Sea,
Oh,
which,
I remember that book.
yeah, we've read that book, which is great.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know that The House in the Cerulean Sea had a sequel. I found out about it and looked it up on Goodreads just to see the vibes.
hmm
And it was pretty well rated, but the comments, they were a mix of, oh my God, he's done it again, it's amazing. And the other half were, why do you gotta insert your politics into my fantasy novels? Goodness gracious.
Po-
Just because you hate J.K. Rowling doesn't mean you need to have opinions about it in
Hey,
fantasy.
hang on. Can we back up for a second? Wasn't the first one's entire plot around politics
Yeah,
and
the
how,
first book
like,
was extremely political.
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like as a
Where,
society, we've collectively decided that discrimination and segregation is bad, so therefore it's okay for that to be in your novel.
what,
But if suddenly, like, there's a transgender kid,
why
whoa,
are
whoa, whoa.
they so upset about a political novel having political things going on in it?
I don't know, especially because I think, sometimes a novel with a bit of politics in it is good for you. I
Yeah.
loved this book.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it.
All right, so that's our starter. That is our context. We start this book with a prologue, which is narrated by Arthur.
Ooh.
Arthur actually narrates this entire book.
Oh, nice. All right. So
Uh,
we get a Phoenix's
Yes, so
perspective.
we may recall Arthur is our orphanage daddy. He is a phoenix. He's a magical boy. All right, he's a 40-year-old magical boy to be specific. So this prologue starts with Arthur arriving at the house at the island that he is going to convert into the orphanage. So this is before any of the kids have arrived there. So his renovation process takes about a year, because I think that this building as an orphanage has been closed for a long time. And Zoe eventually joins to help because she was on the island the whole time as well, and she felt really bad that the children were mistreated.
Now remind me, Zoe, she was the island sprite, right?
Yes, so Zoe is a sprite, and that's just a race of magical creatures in this world. And sprites can be attached to various things like islands, forests, various nature things.
Nature.
Nature. So this is her island.
Okay.
So she helps him renovate the house. She agrees that they're gonna be orphanage dads together. It's great. They apply to extremely upper management. You may recall them, where the government is extremely satirized.
I do recall that.
hmm And our first child arrives at the house. They
Oh,
got
our first new kid.
yeah, they get the house up and running
All
as an
right. Well,
orphanage. Yay. Um,
who's the new kid?
well, it's one of the kids from the first book. We
Oh,
just, this is still a prologue.
you said it. I thought you said it was a new kid, but I guess if this is taking place before even he meets Linus, then I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense.
hmm Other important things we find out is Arthur has a middle name, which is Franklin.
Franklin.
Yes, it is very appropriate, I think.
That is pretty appropriate.
The other important thing we find out is that Arthur can fly.
Well, he is a phoenix,
He is
so
a
that does
phoenix.
track.
However, the description of him as a phoenix is that it like overlays him, so like the phoenix is kind of separate from his human form, but also like they're still like the same person. So like he still has a human body, but he also has like giant wings and a phoenix head, just kind of vibing there. And
Hmm,
that whole thing can fly.
cool.
Yeah, it's a little funky.
I'm imagining that go through the air, just like a bunch of flames behind it, just some dude in the middle.
Yeah. All right, so we are up to the present day. We're going to do a quick recap of all the kids who live here.
Okay.
Lucy, he is the son of the devil. He's the Antichrist. He's 7 years old. He loves music and playing pranks. We have
hmm
Chauncey. He's a jelly blob. He's like Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens. He's just a little blob with some eye stalks. We
All
have
right.
Sal. He is the oldest kid. I think he's a teenager. He can turn into a dog.
Oh, I love Sal.
Yeah, we love Sal.
He can turn other people into dogs
He
too.
can. That is the scary part of his ability.
hmm
We have Fee. She is a like prepubescent teenager, so she's a younger teenager, and she is a forest sprite. So she loves the trees. We have Talia, who is a garden gnome. She is 200 some years old because apparently garden gnomes age a lot slower than humans. So I think she's equivalent of, I don't know, 10 or 11-year old, something like that.
But she's 200.
Yeah, 200 some.
Wow.
Yeah. We have Theodore, who is the wyvern, and I think that's all of them.
Oh, that's right. And Linus was like finally able to understand their various speeches by the end, wasn't
Yes.
he?
So Theodore, as a wyvern, speaks in these little chirps and growls, and he just has a little wyvern language, and everyone in the house can understand that language.
Nice.
All right. So we are in the present day. Lucy's still up to his hijinks.
Of course.
Chauncey is apparently going through puberty. He can
Ooh,
ink now.
can ink.
Yeah, like so in the past book, it was kind of implied that he is part many different various sea creatures.
Hmm.
Maybe Squid is one of those because he can ink.
Okay.
Yep.
He's the one who's just a blob though.
Yeah, he's like a jelly blob.
So part jellyfish, part squid, part
Part sea cucumber.
sea cucumber maybe?
Yeah, hard to
Yeah, I
say,
guess.
really.
Huh.
The other thing we find out is that Sal knit the cat a blanket.
Aw, that's
By the
cute.
way, there's a cat. We
Yeah.
remember the cat. All right. So where we pick up, Linus and Arthur, who are dads together, and they sleep in the same bed because they love each other. They
Very
have
cute.
slept in until past 8 a.m.
Oh my god.
and they panic.
Past 8?
Yeah, when you live in a house of 6 kids,
Those kids are gonna be up setting things on fire
exactly.
right away in the morning.
That's why they panic. We hear the kids in the kitchen making a ruckus, and we're like, uh-oh, kids are making a mess. We sneak up on Fee and Chauncey. They're having a nice conversation. Chauncey is opening up to Fee about how he was bullied a little bit at this hotel. As a reminder about Chauncey, Chauncey's lifelong dream is to be a bellhop, and at the hotel in the local village, was hired as a part-time bellhop.
Aw.
So he was being bullied by one of the customers. He was like, "Oh, I don't want a jelly blob taking my luggage," but his coworkers were very supportive about it.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like that's kind of reasonable not to want like a bunch of slime on your luggage.
I don't think he's slimy. He's just a jelly blob.
I
I
mean,
think he can be slimy when he chooses to be.
oh, okay. So like I guess if she just took the moment to like understand or ask like, are you going to be slimy all over my things? And he could say no,
Yeah.
then that'd be fine, right?
I'm sure it is a little freaky to be like, "Oh my gosh, there's a whoa," but it's okay. And, we just get to see Arthur and Linus being good dads, right?
Hmm.
Because they're letting Chauncey and Fee, well, they are spying on them a little bit, but they're letting them work out their own problems. And, Chauncey opened up to Fee about this one problem instead of them two, right? And sometimes kids need to have their peers to help them work through problems.
Yeah, rather than their parents telling
Yeah.
them things.
hmm All right, so we finally make it into the kitchen. Fee and Chauncey were kind of trying to keep Linus and Arthur from the kitchen for mysterious reasons. And we find out that Theodore can breathe fire.
Hmm.
He's the wyvern. He burns a lovely green fire. And this is also unusual for wyverns, but our boy can do it. Go Theo.
Good for him.
So what we find out is that the kids have been cooking a birthday breakfast for Linus.
Aw.
That's why they were all hiding and trying to let Dad sleep in because they wanted to surprise Linus.
His
And
birthday.
yeah, and they had a banner and it said Happy Bert instead of birthday. And now every time they refer to this moment for the rest of the book, they call it Bert.
Happy Bert.
Yep, it's Linus's birthday.
It's his birthday.
Yeah, the kids aren't very good at cooking, and Lucy was in charge of some of the cooking. So the bacon has a blood sauce, which is
Ooh.
syrup and food coloring.
Yummy.
Yeah, the lovely Bert dinner. During this time, we find out that Arthur and Linus are to leave for 3 days, and Zoe and Helen are to watch over the kids. We remember Zoe, our island sprite, and her girlfriend Helen, right?
The mayor.
Yes, Helen is the mayor of the
Yeah.
local town, and they're dating.
Mhm.
And the reason that Arthur and Linus are going to leave for 3 days is that Arthur is going to testify about his experience as a child in this orphanage in the cellar, right? So in the past book, we found out that Arthur was trapped in a cellar for 6 months.
Yeah, which was horrific.
Because their orphanage master was terrible.
Yeah, understatement of the year.
Yep. And the other goal is that they're going to bring back a new kid. We found out about this new kid right at the end of the last book. His name is David. He is a Yeti.
Oh, okay. Hi, David.
Yes, David. Uh, Arthur explains about generational trauma and the importance of sharing stories. And that's why it's important that they go and talk about this so that we can move towards a better future.
Yeah.
And kids got a gift for Linus. It's a collage of pictures, him with each of them, and a beautiful poem that Sal wrote.
Ooh, do we get a reading of the poem?
Oh, yeah, we can have a reading of the poem. Don't copyright strike me, TJ Klune.
I'm ready for this poem.
So, again, we have individual photos of Linus with each of the kids, also Linus with Arthur, and Sal has written a poem. See me for who I am. I am magic. I am human. I am inhuman. See me. I am a boy. I am a girl. I am everything and nothing in between. See me. You do. You see me. You recoil in fear. You scream in anger. See me. I bleed. I ache. You see me and wish you hadn't. You wish I was invisible. Out of sight, out of mind, unseen, faded, muted. You want my color, you want my joy, you want a monochrome world with monochrome beliefs. You see me and you want to take it all away, but you can't. You want me lost, but I am found in the breaths I take, in the spaces between heartbeats. I am found because I refuse to be in black and white or any shade of gray. I am color. I am fire. I am the sun, and I will burn away the shadows until only light remains. And then you will have no choice but to see me.
Wow. Sal, you are very seen.
Yes, Sal, our writer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the next morning, Arthur and Linus leave for the testimony. They take the train into the city. But before that, they have a little goodbye with the kids, and Sal says they're going to listen to his testimony on the radio. And he says Arthur can't protect them forever, and, it's their right to listen and understand and be part of the magical community. And Arthur's like, okay, that is your choice. But, Zoe's going to be there also.
Yeah.
Just to have an adult in the room.
Yeah, of course.
Bit of context here. At the end of the book, Arthur submitted a petition to adopt the kids so that he's not just the master of their orphanage, that he'd actually be their dad. And Sal wonders if he's too old to be adopted because he's 15. Yeah. And Arthur's like, you'll always be my son. Oh,
He's not too old to
he's
be
not too
adopted.
old.
No.
So they take the train into the city, and it's raining in the city, of course.
Of course.
I think this book is, like, maybe TJ Klune, the author, is British or something. I feel like the city gives off satirized London vibes, where it is just raining constantly.
In the city.
Yep.
I mean, with extremely upper management in the city as well.
Exactly.
That would make sense. This is London.
Yep. So once they get there, they take the bus and they stop by Linus's old house. He is in the process of selling it to his nosy neighbor. And he is there because Fee and Talia made him promise to plant some flowers there. They had given him some magical seeds, and apparently these seeds, you don't even have to plant them. He just sprinkles them on, and then they bloom into these beautiful multicolored flowers.
Ooh.
Add some color and joy to the gray city.
How does no one like magical people
I don't
if
know.
this is what they're able to do?
Well, the problem is, and we see this mostly with Lucy, is that people are scared of what they can do and, like, their potential. They're like, he has the power to destroy the world, right? And then you think about, well, normal humans have bombs and nukes and potential for violence as well.
Well, but those people are gonna come to the defense of, oh, but we elected them to do that.
Yeah.
Either way, though, like, why would they? What motive?
Yeah.
What motive does a small child have to destroy the world?
Exactly. So people are just afraid of their potential and afraid of things that they don't understand and they can't control. So Linus and Arthur arrive at their hotel and they find out that the room is bugged. The government is listening in on them.
Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they? Linus wants to switch hotels, but Arthur's like, Lamau, let's just dance. Show them what a little bit of joy is,
Yeah, why not?
Why not? All right, it's the next day, the day of the hearing. Uh-oh.
The hearing?
The hearing, yes. It is like a voluntary testimony, like Arthur was invited to come give testimony so that we can work towards positive change, but it's a little funky. They arrive to the government building, and there's a ton of reporters and protests, right? So there's groups of people that are protesting for magical rights and against magical rights. It's kind of just a whole mess.
Whole hodgepodge
A whole hodgepodge
of angry people.
of angry people. They get inside. There's a very long security line, and a woman comes, a woman that we don't know. She comes in and waves them through, and they have a hush-hush conversation in the elevator, because apparently the elevator is the only place in this entire building that isn't bugged.
Whack.
So we think she's helping us.
We think.
So we have our hearing. It has been upgraded to, quote, the council of utmost importance.
You're kidding.
No.
These people have to have some sort of like complex going on where they have to be the ones who feel like they're the most in charge, because that's a crazy name. The Council of Utmost Importance. Get out of here.
In addition to the council of utmost importance, they have the council of insignificant propositions, the council of moderate ideas, the council of serious inquiries.
Moderate ideas and serious inquiries.
And insignificant propositions.
Well, that one clearly is so insignificant that I forgot about it. So
And atop all of those, we have the council of utmost importance.
I want to burn this place to the ground.
Coincidentally, so do Linus and Arthur.
Yeah.
All right. So this lady has come to tell them this because it was kind of upgraded without their knowledge. So she's trying to, like, warn them. She also tells them that there's a government lady who is gunning for the PM role. She is currently the Secretary of Education. And she's also, in addition to going after magical rights, going after other social rights, like, oh, transgenderism? Oh, maybe this is why we got the people on the tizzy. They're going after queer rights, LGBT rights, not just magical rights.
Yeah, get all the scary people at once.
We hate this lady.
Yeah.
And apparently her goal is to ruin Arthur's reputation. Why? We're not sure yet. We flash forward to the Council of Utmost Importance and the hearing. Arthur is telling his life story. Right? He tells the whole thing. I think it says that he talks for 3 hours or something. You know, he just tells his whole story. Yeah. And then this lady, we're going to call her Umbridge for no particular reason. She starts questioning him. She has a different name. That's not very important. She accuses Arthur of training his kids like an army.
How would she...
He's raising an army of magical kids.
How would she know such a thing?
I don't know.
What's her evidence?
You know, she doesn't have any. And Arthur's abusing them too.
And what evidence does she have of that one? You kind of have to have evidence when you bring things like this forward.
Yeah, but he doesn't have evidence that he's not raising them to be an army.
Do you know how the burden of proof works?
Well, I do, but, you know, maybe Arthur doesn't.
Like,
maybe Arthur is just a little over his head, right? A little in over his head, and Umbridge is just trying to get a rise out of him, right? And ruin his reputation, perhaps. And he does end up showing his Phoenix form because he got so angry, and she's accusing him of, like, having possession of the most dangerous children in the world. And he's like, possession? They're kids, you psycho. And she's like, an army! So, she does get a rise out of him. And this was a pretty intense chapter. I didn't take a ton of notes on it. It was pretty intense. But we do find out that Arthur got paid $1 million in hush money after his abuse.
Well, that's evidence on Arthur's part, right? He provided evidence of what happened to him.
Yeah, so after he was, caught in this cellar for 6 months and then he was released, he did go to trial against the orphanage master who had him jailed or, locked up in this cellar. And, they paid him $1 million, £1 million to, I guess, shut him up. Also, we found out Umbridge is the new extremely upper management director, interim manager.
I wonder what sort of stick she's got stuck up there, like...
Yeah, so she is now the person in charge of magical youth and magical adults.
Right.
We also find out that Arthur spent his early adulthood after he, aged out of the orphanage, basically underground railroading it for other magical people. And she's like, why are you working against the government? Don't you know we have your best interests at heart? And he's like, I doubt it. She's like,
I mean, they very clearly don't.
yeah.
They're actively trying to take away magical rights.
Yeah.
What do you mean best interests at heart?
Well, it's
You.
implying that magical people don't know what they need.
Sorry, the look that I just gave you, I feel like says everything that needs to be said.
Note this is an audio medium.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so because our Umbridge is concerned about Arthur training his kids to be soldiers in his army, and that he has already shown blatant disrespect for the government because he was helping magical people avoid registration and everything, they're gonna send another inspector in. And she's like, and because it seems you are so bamboozling to the men, we're gonna send a woman this time.
Okay.
And Umbridge mentions David. And that's a big deal because they only would have known about that from the bugs in the hotel room, so we know who planted those bugs now.
I don't know who
David
David
is the Yeti kid.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't
Okay.
picked up David yet, but David's also unregistered. This isn't like a government placing. This isn't a government placement. This is Linus and Arthur going to help a magical kid who needs help. Yeah.
I see.
So, after they leave the hearing, they switch hotels.
Yeah.
Because it's probably still bugged. And they call the kids. The kids are all furious, of course. And Zoe's there, and Zoe is about to, like, lay hands, right? She's gonna.
Mhm.
Ooh, she's gonna. But really, they
Oh,
just
yeah.
want to know that Arthur is safe and all right. Because they love their dad. And that night, Linus proposes to Arthur. They're gonna be married.
Aw.
It's so cute.
I can't wait for them to try to take away gay rights too.
Don't hope for that.
Yeah, I know I'm not actually hoping for it, but you know that they're
I
gonna.
know.
They're like, oh, this dangerous man is also gay. That means that all gay people are
no.
dangerous.
All right, so the next day they go to get David the Yeti. Now remember, he is unregistered, and in light of the fact that they have a new inspector coming to the orphanage, they might have to hide him when the government visits. Right?
Okay.
So once they arrive at this, basically a safe house, we find David, who is staying with a couple who helps magical adults, and, you know, they're just worried that they can't fully help a kid in the full way that a kid needs. So that's why Helen knew these people and brought Arthur and Linus over. Right, so they help magical adults, and they're happy to have David, but they just worry that he needs people his own age to interact with.
And they're probably right
Yeah.
about that. Most kids need,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And here we're going to note that this is also a not straight couple. We have one guy and we have one non-binary person as part of this couple. And honestly,
Okay.
when I saw all those reviews that were like, "Oh my God, why'd you put your anti-JK Rowling nonsense into my novel?" I was like, "Oh, I wonder if the new kid is trans or something. That would be interesting." No, David's not trans. David's just a kid. Really, the only thing in this book is that every single couple is gay. Love it. And there's one non-binary character.
Very
political.
political of them. Wow.
People exist. And that's terrifying, apparently. All right. So they go to David's room, and he's putting on a theatrical performance. It is a One Yeti show where he does a rendition of a detective, and he has to go solve a murder, and then there's a woman, and she gets murdered too. It's very dramatic.
Oh my God.
Turns out he thinks he is auditioning for their school. He's 10 years old, and Arthur clears it up. He said it is David's choice whether to come or not. David does ask some questions. He's like, "Is there homework?" And Arthur's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Are you sure? What kind of homework? What kind of rules?" And Arthur's like, "We do homework, we do group classes, we do lots of things together as a family." And they're like, But they do leave David to, make up his mind and just give him a little time to think about it. And he decides later that night that yes, he wants to come. And he's so excited for the train. He's never been on a train before. So, before we get on the train, though, Arthur goes and burns up a propaganda poster at the station. The propaganda motto in this book is "See something, say something." So it's like, if you see something magically dangerous, say something to your government. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. Blech.
Ugh.
So once they get there, Helen picks them up, and Zoe makes a salt bridge for them to cross. So we saw this at the end of the previous book. Zoe, as the island sprite, can just pull the salt from the ocean and make a bridge for them to drive across if she wants to. And she does this to make it extra clear to David that they are very welcoming of him. They're very excited to have him. We also find out the village has been having a lot of magical tourists, and David's really excited to have that. David's really excited to see that because, he just sees other magical people existing, and he's like, whoa, they're just allowed to exist?
Yeah, meanwhile, him, little
Yeah, he's
Yeti
just
boy.
been hiding and, chased, and, oh, our poor boy, he doesn't know that he can just be. So once they arrive at the island orphanage, kids have made a welcome home David banner. Aww. It's adorable. They're so excited to meet him. They show David to his room. There's a door with his name on. He's like, whoa, I've never had a door named after me before.
I was gonna guess if he asked. I've never owned a door
Yeah,
before.
I don't think he doesn't quite get it. It is his own room, which is kind of sad. They've painted the inside like the Aurora Borealis. It's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And his room is the cellar, actually, that...
That's right, they adapted
yes,
it
they
to be
converted
cold
the
for
cellar,
him.
so they completely renovated it, and they got in some mega air conditioning in so that they can keep it at a nice 32 Fahrenheit. We're American.
Ooh.
32 Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
0 Celsius. So and that's apparently the perfect temperature for David to sleep in.
That's
what he likes. He's a Yeti.
All right.
It has ice blue walls. It looks like the tundra or something.
Yeah. That's the icy plains
We
right
made
there.
it just for him. So that night, we find out that all the kids, not David, David is new. They all sleep with Arthur and Linus in what must be a massive king-size bed to fit 6 children on here, even if Talia is the size of a tiny little garden gnome, and Chauncey can apparently just flatten himself into a blanket. But it must be a massive bed.
Yeah, that would have to be huge to accommodate
6 kids and 2 adults.
Kids.
And it's kind of funny because at one point Chauncey's like, Arthur, are you sleeping? No, I'm not. Okay, can I ask you a question? Yes, you can. Why is there a ring on your finger? No one got a lot of sleep that night. Everyone was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
But a quick note about David is that he very clearly has trauma, right? There's just a lot of little one-liners about it, how he has a bit of food insecurity, right? He's like, whoa, we get to eat as much as we want every single day, right? And he flinches at noises, right? So he's a traumatized boy, but we love him, and we are going to make this his home. So the next day, we start with Arthur at his desk, and he has an article, right? So he has a little file, a little information gathered about David from the people who are taking care of him. And he has an article, and that article is about 3 human hunters who went to jail because it was illegal. It is illegal to hunt beings with human-like thought. And they apparently got 3 years in prison for killing 2 adult Yetis.
Oh. So David's parents were killed
by
probably in front of him. That's
yeah.
Awful.
I know. There's another point in this book where I think we're reflecting on moments with our parents because, obviously all these kids are orphans. And a lot of them, parents, they're, may have died in sad ways because they are magical people who are marginalized. And I think Arthur is reflecting on a nice moment he remembers with his mother. And David thinks the last memory he had of his mother was her yelling run at him, which is so sad. Right? So Arthur and David have a one-on-one right after Arthur is reflecting on David's past. And David apparently likes the idea of being a monster and scaring people, but it's mostly just because he's a big actor, right? He just loves to be theatrical and he likes to scare people, but not to hurt them, right? It's kind of like haunted house vibes.
Yeah, he likes to exaggerate.
Yeah, and Arthur, thinks this might be a little difficult because one thing he has previously stressed with the other kids is that they don't have to be a monster, even if that's what society has always called them. But here we have David, who has sort of just like a different idea of what a monster is. So Arthur assigns David homework, and his homework is to get to know the other kids. So cute. All right. Guess what, Tom?
What?
It's Saturday adventure time.
Saturday adventure time?
Yep, every Saturday the kids have an adventure, and they alternate every week who gets to plan the adventure.
Oh yeah, I remember they did the one where they went to what's her name's house?
Zoe's house.
Zoe's house.
Yeah. That was like more of like a forest adventure. This time they're going yachting.
Ooh.
But it's a rowboat that Chauncey found.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Where did they get a yacht?
They didn't. The kids decide that David is captain.
Uh-huh.
Which is adorable. And we also find out that Chauncey can speak to fish.
I mean, he's part fish, so that does make sense.
Mm-hmm. This is a new development. We meet one specific fish named Frank, and then Chauncey eats him a little bit. And then Chauncey's like, well, he said he wanted to see what stomach acid felt like.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't want to know what that feels like, though.
Yes, but don't worry. Chauncey does regurgitate Frank. Frank is fine.
That's nice. I'm glad.
All right, so once they're out on the sea, after all this has happened, their makeshift sail breaks. So Arthur is like, well, children, you need to think of a new way home, a new way back, right? So, it's nice. It's a little teaching moment from Arthur. He's like, well, you guys problem solve together. Hey, Tom, you want to guess what they do?
They're going to use Chauncey as a sail because he can stretch himself out like a blanket.
You're going to be so excited because this is way wilder than that.
Oh, yeah?
So Lucy makes a tidal wave.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, by the way, Lucy has like insane powers.
Well, yeah, he's got natural disasters.
Lucy is like, he can do anti-gravity.
Oh.
Reverse gravity, not just no gravity. He could probably do that too, but he can reverse gravity. That is one thing we've seen so far. And now he can make a tidal wave. So they do that. And you were partially right, because then they make Chauncey a parachute. So they have their rowboat, and they got it up on a tidal wave back towards the island. And now they have Chauncey as a parachute, and they're just kind of floating. And it's not actually good. They're still a little panicky. They're about to crash. But Theodore breathes some fire into Chauncey, and suddenly he's a hot air balloon, actually. And they make it back. And Lucy, in fact, does prevent the tidal wave from destroying the island.
I'll give them points for creativity.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Poor Linus throws up, I think, once they get back to land. And Talia's like, oh, good job, Lucy. You discovered a new way to make Linus vomit.
I mean, I feel like there's plenty of ways to do that.
Mm-hmm. They all like messing with Linus, because he's their dad, and they love him.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing is that David had, mentioned aloud something about being a monster. She's like, whoa, being a monster's so fun. And Lucy's mad, because Arthur said that David can be a monster, when he always said that Lucy can't be a monster. So Lucy is a little mad just about the hypocrisy there. He's like, what? Yeah.
But, well, David's asking to be a different kind of monster.
Yeah, but, Lucy is 7 years old, and he doesn't quite get that distinction yet.
Yeah.
But he just needs time to cool off. So what happens then is that Helen arrives, and she says she got notice that the new government inspector is coming next week. So they're like, ugh, poop. Gross.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're back after a mini break. That mini break was a couple of days, but we're back.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard from Helen that the new inspector is coming.
Oh, no. The new inspector.
Oh, no. The government's trying to interfere in our lives.
Are they going to become a throuple?
Well, they are specifically sending a woman, so...
Oh, yeah, they're gay, so...
Yeah. The other thing was that Lucy is mad because Arthur was being hypocritical about David being a monster and Lucy not being a monster.
Yeah.
Which is sad, and, for a kid, it's hard to understand the differences in words.
Yeah.
So they have their one-on-one, Lucy and Arthur, and they're chatting about right and wrong. And, Lucy is, he's a little confused because he's saying, well, I could just mind control everyone and make this not a problem. Like, we would have our rights and it wouldn't be a problem. I could do that. By the way, Lucy has insane magic powers.
Yeah, I mean, he did literally make a tidal wave just a little bit ago.
He could, reverse gravity,
Yeah.
And
Well,
Arthur does have a moment when he thinks like, yeah, that would be easier. but he
it is very tempting to go the easy route.
hmm but he reminds Lucy that free will is important,
Hmm.
right? So they review David's definition of monster, which is not hurting people, right?
Hmm.
Whereas people expect Lucy to hurt others, but he doesn't want to, right? So everyone has this notion of the Antichrist, like, oh, he's going to destroy the world, but Lucy doesn't want to hurt people.
Hmm.
So overall, we find that David and Lucy are on the same page. They don't want to hurt people.
Okay.
Arthur and Linus are discussing how to be good dads and how to let kids grow and learn and gain independence.
Do they have any nuggets of wisdom that you'd like to impart?
No, I'm not a good dad, so
You know what? That's fair.
I can't share.
I'm not a dad at all.
Well, we see a cute thing where Fee made a Wyvern translation book for David.
Well, that's nice of
Yeah,
her.
so we saw David being really excited about being able to talk to Theodore. So Fee helped him by, writing a little book for him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where was that when Linus got here?
Well, they didn't care about Linus at first.
Yeah, I guess they probably won't give the translation guide to the new lady, will they?
Oh, absolutely not. We don't like the new lady, and she hasn't even arrived yet.
Yeah.
Speaking of, everyone's very stressed about her coming, so they clean up the house. Sal and Fee apparently have weapons that they won from the record shop guy. Do you remember the record shop guy?
Yeah, he was really cool with
Yeah,
everyone. He
the
gave
stoner.
Lucy all the records, right?
Yeah, he's the stoner, and he's apparently very bad at gambling and gambles his weapons and always loses, so these kids have like swords and stuff.
Like real.
Yeah.
Why does this record shop owner have like swords and
Well,
stuff?
because he's cool too.
I guess, stoners really do just collect whatever, don't they?
Yeah, so they do turn in the weapons to Linus and Arthur, though, because, maybe kids having weapons isn't the best look. And they're like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that night, they have a little camping night in the gazebo. So they have like a little overnight sleepover outside. One last day of freedom. Fee tells a story, and, David just seems so happy to be there, which is so nice because he was so nervous before.
He's getting comfortable.
Yeah. So the day arrives of the inspection. Except the kids, they're protesting about hiding David. They say, we can't hide him. It's like, it'd just be doing what the government wants. We have to be proud of who we are. And, on the one hand, true. On the other hand, uh-oh.
David's undocumented.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, but, Arthur and Linus ultimately decide to go along with it. We will see what the kids' plan is. So she arrives, and it is fun to see the other side of the inspection, right? Because in the first book, we saw Linus as the inspector.
Yep.
And in this book, we see Linus being inspected, right?
Okay.
And you just see how nervous they are on the island, right? That this one person's opinion could change their lives forever.
Yeah.
So her name is Miss Marblemaw. I'm going to call her Miss M.
That's fair.
She is a very severe lady, condescending, pro-government, rude.
But her name is Marble Mall.
Yeah, Miss M. The government has your best interests in mind and want nothing more than for you to succeed and lead semi-normal lives.
Thanks.
That's exactly what Fee says. Well, when you put it that way.
Yeah.
So, their plan for David is that they're pretending he is an adult Yeti and he has just stunted growth.
Now, does that work?
I mean, she doesn't quite believe them, but she also can't, refute it because she doesn't know David. So, there are short people. There very well could be short Yetis. Now, keep in mind, David is already 5 or 6 feet tall. Adult Yetis are just usually 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
So, he's just saying he's stunted, and she's like, well... Yeah.
Can't counter that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Alright, so Miss M then kills one of Lucy's scorpions.
Why?
Because she's trying to, do a power play. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's in a cage.
Well, no. Lucy was trying to prank her by having the scorpion, crawl up her, and then she just, crushes it. She's like, I can't feel fear.
That's terrifying.
And we're like, okay, chill.
Also, it is kind of a reasonable reaction to kill
Yeah.
a scorpion that's on you.
She also says she has God on her side. Yikes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, way to threaten the child with God.
Yeah, I somehow think that God is not on her side on this one. He's usually very compassionate. Or
Mm-hmm.
she. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some say God is a woman.
Some say God is a they.
Yeah.
So Zoe is introduced to Miss M, who's immediately rude, of course. Miss M is the rude one. And Zoe's like, okay. And after, Miss M goes to bed for the day and they're alone in the house, they vow to find each other again. Even if Miss M takes them away, they'll find each other again as adults. Because
Oh,
they're a family.
that's right. That's very
That's
sweet.
right. Okay. The next morning, they go to breakfast and the cat hairballs onto Miss M in greeting.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, and she's like, I wasn't aware you had a cat. And they're like, well,
There it is.
now you know.
Yeah. It's not against the rules.
Get right. So Arthur and Miss M meet and they talk about lessons plan, Arthur's deviation from the government texts. And listen, some of these government texts are just insane. Like how to be a subservient to humans.
Ew.
And how to lead a normal life in the shadows. Like,
Ugh.
it's like some of these texts are like, whew.
It's like you should feel bad
Yeah.
about yourself.
Yeah. So they're really hammering in about the government being just terrible. So
Yeah.
Miss M asks for proof of David's 47-year-old age, and Arthur finds photos in his desk, old photos of him and David throughout the years. Just like as a child, Arthur as like a teen with David. It seems maybe Lucy materialized these out of nothing.
Huh.
So she's like, well, here's proof. Here's some photos of us.
Lucy has Photoshop.
Yeah.
Good for him.
All right. We're on to another Saturday Village trip.
Boy.
We have Fee, Talia, Zoe, and Helen. They go to the garden shop. Chauncey and Linus go to the hotel. Sal and Theodore go to the library. And Arthur, Lucy, Miss M, and David go to the record shop. Because obviously she wants to follow Lucy around.
Yeah, of course. She's got God on her side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Lucy says that humans made music and therefore they don't have to be destroyed. Music is a good enough contribution to the world.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm. And since the kids get to plan, they rotate planning all the Saturday adventures. Lucy planned this day for everyone because he wanted them to all be happy.
Aw.
So he sent them all to do their favorite activities, right? Like he sent Chauncey to the hotel because Chauncey's obsessed with bellhops.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so something unfortunate happens with David chasing the stoner record shop guy out of the store.
Well, why?
Like, rawr! And Miss M freaks out and pulls David away, right? She's like, get off of him! And Lucy calls the others with his mind, I guess, so they all arrive. Miss M calls David an animal, and she's like, I have to protect a human! And the record guy was like, dude, that was my dream to be chased by a Yeti. That was so sick! Right? So David was doing what was requested of him.
Yeah, the stoner literally just asked.
Yeah, and remember David, he loves to act, and he said he wants to scare people, but not hurt them. So this is like a perfect opportunity for him.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who wants to be scared. And Fee mega threatens Miss M not to touch them again. Right? She's like, I will turn you into a tree. You will die.
Nice.
She's like 12 and can grow trees, so,
Good for her.
yeah. And then Lucy calls Arthur Dad.
Hmm.
Oh.
I bet that just melts Arthur inside.
Oh, it does. We find out that Miss M, she does not advocate for segregation. That is so outdated.
Mhm.
She advocates for voluntary separation.
So segregation.
No, Tom. That's such a harsh word.
What's voluntary about it?
Cue cricket chirping.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. So that night, Arthur finds Fee outside in the gazebo. She couldn't sleep, right? And she asks him to fly with her.
Aw.
Yeah, they do. It's adorable. Right? Arthur doesn't really embrace his phoenix side that much. He's very separate from it. Right? Because I think, he wasn't allowed to show it for so many years. Because
Well,
people
that
saw it as
and
dangerous.
He associates being in that form with being out of control.
Yes,
Right,
we will
'cause-
actually see more of that later. So
Yeah,
it's
because a lot of times when he gets upset, it just starts.
it comes
coming
out. So we get to see him associate with his phoenix in a positive way, which
Oh,
is
that's
really good
nice.
for him.
Yeah.
And we also see that Arthur's phoenix brain is different from his human brain. So like when he's in his phoenix form, he has like more simplistic thoughts.
Oh, so more animalistic.
Yeah, a little more animalistic, but it's just interesting because like again, like they always speak about the phoenix as being separate from his human form, but they are still like the same being. It's a little confusing.
It is.
Like, again, I'm like, how can he fly if it's still his human form just like flopping all over the place? I try not to think about it too hard.
I'm assuming it's something like Superman, but with like a big overlay over him, basically.
Yeah, like I said, just don't think about it too hard. Just, it works. All right, so the next morning, Arthur is snooping on Miss M. She's having a call with Umbridge.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh. Umbridge wants Lucy removed into her power so she can control him.
Why?
Supposedly for world safety.
Uh-huh.
Actually, just for power, because Lucy is like the most powerful person ever. He can just do anything.
Can mind control people.
Yeah.
So I can imagine why you'd want to exploit a kid like that.
Yeah, and Miss M seems to feel kind of bad about it, but she is kind of convinced / maybe manipulated into going along with the plan, right? So this is why, Umbridge at the beginning was trying to ruin Arthur's reputation, right? She's trying to remove these kids from his, like, parenthood, governorship, protection. Yeah. She's trying to remove these kids from him so that she can control Lucy specifically. And Arthur has a panic attack about this.
Understandably.
And his anger, it like grows and grows all day, and he's like stuffing it down, but he's like spiraling all day. And this was like a hard chapter to read. Like, because it's just page after page of him being a dad and trying to show up for his family, but just not being there fully and spiraling and getting angrier and just like forming a nuclear meltdown because of how much pressure he has inside.
Yeah.
And that night he snaps at Linus even. He yells at Linus about working for the government for 17 years.
Oh, no.
He's like, how could you do that? How could you work with them for so long? And he starts to get all fiery. And then Linus moves to protect Lucy, who was in the room, right? So he moves to stand in front of Lucy because Arthur's like kind of losing control. And then that's when Arthur like freaks out a little bit. And then he flies out of the room, flies a little bit over the ocean, explodes, and then drops into the ocean. And then Frank and the fish and Chauncey's other fish bring him back to shore. And this sequence was devastating.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I was like almost in tears reading this sequence.
He exploded?
Yeah, it's kind of described as like he just had to burst. Like there was so much pressure in him, it had to physically come out of him. So he just became a real big fireball in the sky. And, in the coming chapters, it's described as like the Phoenix was like let out. So, he could still feel it in him, but it was like dampened. So it was easier to control. Linus finds him there on the beach. They chat about Miss M, fatherhood, etc. And Linus tells Arthur he needs to care for himself too. Yeah. So Arthur and Linus return, and Miss M loses her marbles. Miss Marble Maw. She lost her marbles. She's now just Miss Maw.
Miss Maw.
Yeah.
That feels like I've been thinking this entire time. Miss Marble Maw feels like the name of someone who also has magical powers. You know what I mean? Like doesn't that kind of sound like a magical name somewhat? Doesn't it like
Does she have marble powers?
I don't know, maybe.
Like, can she like summon marbles for you to like fall down on?
Maybe she can like spit them out of her mouth, and that's why it's Marble Maw.
Oh no. Well, anyway, she loses her marbles. She's like, "You just exploded! What was that explosion?"
They all leap out of her mouth.
Yeah, right. Zoe locks her in the guest room, and she does this by literally like, I don't know, somehow picking her up and forcing her into the guest house. She's like, "Go away." And then Lucy changes the windows of her house to plastic so that she can't break out. And he also fixes the window that Arthur broke. Right, so Arthur broke a window when he flew out of the room. Yeah. And he just fixes that. Again, Lucy is like, can do whatever he wants. He has like total control over the entire plane of existence.
He's also got a lot of control over those powers.
Yeah, he's only 7, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's good he's being brought up healthily.
Yeah. Or as healthy as he can be.
Yeah, right. The government's so scared about him being evil, whereas he might become evil if he were mistreated and forced to, be raised badly.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes.
So anyway, we've shut up Miss M, and the kids insist that Arthur share everything. They're like, "You've got to include us. This is important for us." So he does. They share about why the government wants to take them away. And then the kids say they've decided that Arthur is dad and Linus is papa, and their last names are going to be Baker Parnassus.
Baker Parnassus.
They specifically say, well, Arthur was our dad first, so it should be potentially Parnassus Baker. However, it just sounds better to be Baker Parnassus.
It's also alphabetical.
True. So that's just so adorable. And they're going to fight for their home and each other. And David says he wants to stay and be adopted too, but it's only been 1 week, so he isn't ready to call them dad and papa yet.
That's fair.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, totally, take your time. It's okay. Yeah. Lore drop, your favorite. Brights apparently descended from fairies.
Huh. Okay.
So like Zoe and Fee are perhaps distant descendants of fairies. There are no fairies left. Some say they just like kind of left this plane and went to the other ones.
I mean, if I were a magical being and could do that in this world, I absolutely would.
Yeah, so basically they're going to stab them with kindness.
Yeah.
So they go to war.
With kindness.
With kindness. So for example, Fee grows an orange tree right in front of her. Her is Miss M. It's a tree grenade.
Okay.
Okay. Miss M seems to be like trying to do the exact same thing. So she suggests that Talia shave her beard.
No.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
She's a gnome. Why
yeah.
would she?
But she's like, oh, but you would look so pretty. You know, the societal expectations of young women. And what will the boys think of you? And she's like, ma'am, I'm only like 243 years old. I'm not going to be thinking about boys until I'm at least 400.
Maybe even 500.
Yeah, like, especially if I shave. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Right, and Talia cares a lot about her beard. She uses a lot of product and takes really good care of it.
So it's probably like really well kept, too.
Oh, yeah. So in retaliation, Lucy curses Miss M with a mustache that will fully regrow every 6 hours, 6 minutes, and 6 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. So, again, Miss M is trying to win them over, but flopping. Chauncey grows an armpit hair, and he's really excited about it. Remember, Chauncey's like going through puberty. But Talia warns him that Miss M will make him shave it, and then he inks on Miss M. And Chauncey's like, wait, I want to keep my armpit hair!
Aww.
We also find out that Sal and the cat play when Sal is in dog form.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they just like chase each other around, because he's like a tiny dog when he's a dog.
You said he was, I think in the last book you said he was like a pug or a Pomeranian.
Pomeranian.
That's
I think
right.
he's smaller than the cat.
Yeah, Pomeranians are usually, well, it depends on the cat breed, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think Pomeranians are really fluffy.
They are.
But the body underneath is like teeny tiny. Miss M, for some reason, hates dogs, of course. So the cat smacks the crap out of her.
All right.
Lucy then makes sentient mud people. Their names are Janet, Barry, and Turnip. Janet and Barry only say mud, and that translates into speech, like Groot.
What about Turnip?
Yeah, Turnip speaks in full sentences.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. So there's no explanation. That's just what they do. Lucy created them. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Interestingly, they call Zoe Your Majesty.
I mean, she does act like royalty.
So they end up kicking Miss M off the island. And they do this because, like, they were all arguing, and Arthur's like, oh, well, I quit. Because she's like, you work for the government, right? You have to follow our rules. And he's like, oh, well, that's silly. I quit.
Yeah.
So
That is silly.
yeah, they're gonna kick Miss M off the island. She's like, but Lucy, he's gonna install himself as supreme ruler of Earth.
Thank God. Like, this kid would probably do a way better job than the current government.
Well, Lucy says he would rather listen to the Supremes.
Which is also fair.
Maybe he could do both.
I mean, I feel like a lot of world powers would probably sometimes think that, yeah, I could listen to the Supremes instead of this.
I need to
and
just, like,
that'd be
take a little
okay.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out this is magic banishment. So, like, Zoe did magic banishment to her, and it is painful for Miss M to try to enter the island. So she just, like, can't. Physically cannot enter. And then the mud people return to the bog. Yay, Miss M is gone.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Screw that.
Screw her!
Screw that woman.
All right, we're back to more lighthearted days. Yay!
Yeah, that's nice. So
I'm sure there won't be any consequences from this.
I mean, Arthur did just quit, so like those kids, do they have a legal guardian? Were they officially adopted?
No, I think they just kind of don't care anymore. They're just kind of done with the government. After all, like, Zoe can completely protect them on the island.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm sure there won't be any consequences from that.
Uh-huh.
So, they go into town again.
All right.
It's like, woo, it's another Saturday. We're going into town.
Yeah, it's adventure time.
Uh-huh. And there's a lot of reporters around, but David roars at them and they keep their distance.
Good. As they should.
As they should. So they're just kind of vibing when the government SWAT shows up with Umbridge, forcefully trying to take the kids away.
I wish them the best of luck.
Yeah, Lucy goes to speak and apparently can also mind read because he says he's sorry for what happened to Umbridge's dad, who was apparently killed in some kind of magical accident.
Aww.
So that is sad. Trauma begets trauma and all that.
Mm-hmm.
However, she does not take this well and she goes to hit him. And then he teleports back to Arthur. Lucy's delighted that he can teleport.
Yeah, why would you hit a child for saying that?
Yeah, and they're like, okay, that is the second time someone of your government has either attempted to or physically harmed one of these children in the past week.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a problem.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah, so then Zoe announces that she is Queen of the Sprites.
Oh, she just is?
Yeah, so she's an ocean sprite. She's not an island sprite. She's actually an ocean sprite. And she's the queen, apparently. So, like, her grandma was queen. And she gives a bit of her history, is that they were happy for thousands of years before the government apparently killed them all. And she was, like, one of the last ones surviving.
They killed the sprites?
Uh-huh.
No wonder the fairies left.
Yeah, well,
They're gonna commit genocide.
Well, yeah, if you put it that way.
Yeah.
So she announces that she is taking her land back. So the village and the island, which is apparently a former peninsula of the island, but her grandma sunk the peninsula into an island to try to get away from these psycho humans.
Understandably.
So Zoe says she is taking the land back, and she says it's legal too because she had a deal with the old human king of the land. And she like whips out like a real old piece of parchment that like has some guy's signature on it. And then Zoe offers this town as a safe haven for all magical people. Then they do the same banishment thing to all the government people, SWAT team who arrived. And then Zoe and the Baker Parnassus family raise the sunken land together.
Aww.
So they use like the power of family and they all hold hands and yeah.
It's probably mostly Lucy. I'm gonna be so for real with you.
I know, even Linus is part of it, even though he's not magical.
Yeah.
He has like the magic of family.
It's mostly Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, epilogue.
Oh, already?
Already! See, Miss M wasn't there for that long.
Yeah.
So it's a couple months later, and people are moving in, including a lawyer for Zoe.
Good.
She does need a lawyer if she's going to be queen now. And a therapist.
Yeah, well...
They need a therapist.
They do need a therapist. I was going to say, though, the lawyer is a very good idea. How else are you going to verify an ancient document with some random king's signature on it? Like...
Indeed. Right. And they are both magical. So, magical lawyer, magical therapist.
Nice.
What are their powers? Umbridge is retired as the head of the magic government.
Or are you just going to ignore my question?
Sorry, I missed your question.
What are their powers?
I don't remember. I already returned the book to the library, so I can't tell you.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. So Umbridge is retired as the head of the magic government, thankfully. And you remember the secretary? Okay, you probably don't remember because I pretty much glossed over her from the first book. There's a secretary lady. She was a secretary of extremely upper management.
Oh, yeah, she was the one who told Linus that he had to go meet with them, right?
No, that was his boss. There was just a secretary up there.
Oh.
He referred to her as like bubblegum lady because she chewed bubblegum.
Yeah.
She's okay. You also remember the elevator lady from the beginning of this book?
No.
Okay, when Arthur and Linus went to the courthouse and the woman pulled them aside for a secret chat in the elevator?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
Well, that happened at the beginning of this book.
Okay, I believe you.
So those two are dating.
Oh.
Sorry, married, actually. And so the secretary from the first book is the new head of the magic government. And she's also magical. But she's been hiding it the whole time. They kind of have this thing. They're like, oh, you just look pretty and flip your hair and laugh, and men don't see any further than what they expect.
Yeah, that's fairly true.
Mm-hmm. So she is half satyr, and she was apparently dehorned as a child.
Oh.
So that's like, they actually make a distinction that is debudding, which is what they do to cattle when they're babies to remove their horns. Mm-hmm. You like burn them down so that they can't grow back.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to her as a child, which I guess also made it easier for her to pass as human. But
yeah,
yikes.
because her horns are pointing out, but also, yeah, that's...
Yeah, because she doesn't have horns, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she is half satyr, but now she's the new magical head. And you know what? Maybe if we have a head of the magical organization that's actually magical and not psychotic,
And actually understands magical people and the absolute horrible way they've been treated.
Indeed, we might get some positive change.
Yeah, maybe.
So we find out that almost 100 mostly magical people have already come and moved into Zoe's new kingdom
All right.
because, the outside world kind of sucked. And the day we've picked up on in this epilogue, it's not just any random day. It's Linus and Arthur's wedding.
Oh.
Uh-huh. They have 500 guests,
Wow.
which is so many. We're
is
getting
so
married in a few months. We're not going to have that many.
No, good God, no.
Good, no. We find out, importantly, Linus also has a middle name. It's Alan.
Linus Allen.
Yeah, important.
Is he Baker or?
Linus Alan Baker.
So his name is Lab?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
So David was ordained to marry them. I don't know how legal that is for a child, but I don't really care.
He's an adult, quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote. And of course it's chaotic. Children are running this wedding. Of course it's chaotic.
Yeah.
And David announces, by the power invested in me and all that jazz, Dad kissed Papa so hard.
Aw. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of the book.
They're gonna kiss so hard.
They're going to have sleepovers at Zoe's house that the kids aren't invited to.
Yeah, so they can be loud.
So what'd you think of this book, Tom?
I thought it was okay. I'm not. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm not the biggest fan of slice of life, but it was very nice to hear things work out for these people, And it's very wholesome with the whole like father and various children
Yeah, found family.
dynamic. Yeah,
I find that I really like slice of life just because, a lot of TV shows and dramas, they always think it's less fun once the couple gets together. They're always like, oh yeah, just do the will they won't they, and it'll keep them hooked for seasons upon seasons.
I hate the will they won't they though.
Yeah, and I'm like, just let them be happy, jeez.
Just let them get together.
And in this book, they were happy, and I loved it.
Yeah, that is really nice. They didn't really have a marital spat. It was more of just Arthur getting anxious.
Yeah, in the first book, we found out Linus has anxiety. In the second book, we find out Arthur also has anxiety.
Perfect match.
Couples who are anxious together,
Stay
anxious together.
Yeah,
Anxious couples can anxious together.
that's exactly right.
That doesn't turn off the tongue at all.
Nope.
Great.
All right.
Well, thank you for reading Somewhere Beyond the Sea with me, Tom.
Well, thank you for telling me all about it.
I'll see you next time.
Well, bye.